Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Spring Fever. It's me. Right now, I'm CFL Jim, joined by my co host, Uncle Rico himself. It's Eric at eTop21 Sports on Twitter. What's up, buddy?
Nothing much, man. What's up with you, my friend?
How about that week 5 of CFL action? Also, Montreal seems to be on fire right now. I don't know what's up with the Alouettes firing your coach after 4 games. Bold move. Bold move. We'll see how that works out for him. Quarterbacks being traded. Quarterbacks going down. No Trey Ford for the Elks. Jeremiah Masoli out for the Red Blacks. Nick Arbuckle moved from the Elks to the Red Blacks. There's a lot of stuff going on.
All right. So, what did you think of that hit?
I mean, it was dirty. Like he went for the knees. He went to like really fuck up his legs.
Yeah.
I feel like people are making a way bigger deal of it than it needs to be. Like what? So what do you think would happen if someone did that to a quarterback in the NFL?
Well, if it's a quarterback for the Lions, nothing. If it's Tom Brady, suspended indefinitely.
So Jeremiah Masoli isn't Tom Brady, but he's also not a quarterback for the Lions. Say if it was,
The middle of the road quarterback.
Let's say it, not even just middle of the road, like because he's pretty good. Let's say it's like Russell Wilson last year.
2 to 3 games.
So he got 4.
Okay.
He got a 4-game suspension. People, maybe it's a CFL thing, maybe it's a Canadian thing. People on Twitter and like online in general are calling for him to just be banned from the league now, like suspended from the league.
But doesn't because I'm reading Marsoli's statement right now that he released on Twitter. He already has a previous ejection and 2 fines before this incident.
Oh, he's been known to play very dirty. Also, apparently, there were charges of him using like racial slurs and everything like that during the game too.
So I mean, I kind of you factor that.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get at this point, like if you're Saskatchewan, probably just be done with him.
Yeah.
And yes, I am a Saskatchewan fan. I do like the Rough Riders. They probably should have had so they just came out with their apology today while we're recording this. They probably should have had an apology ready to go right away.
Yeah, I mean, the fact it took this long is not the best. Is Marsoli, is he out for the year now?
They're projecting he could maybe come back for the playoffs.
Well, I mean,
or the last 2 weeks of the season, maybe.
And who did they
early projections is the last, I think the second to last week.
Jesus, I don't even think he comes back this year, man, because they haven't won a game yet. You know what I mean? They haven't won a game yet.
But I talked about this with my buddy Rod on the CFL Gambling Podcast, specifically just for CFL. Go check that out. I talked about they've played Winnipeg, they've played BC, and they've played Saskatchewan. They played the 3 best teams.
Yeah. And they
haven't won a game. They've been close, but they played in my opinion, the top 3 teams in the entire league. I think if you look at their schedule going forward, like this week, we'll get into it. They play Hamilton. It opens up. I think even with Arbuckle, but especially if they would have had Masoli, this schedule would have opened up. You would have seen a very improved Red Blacks team. Obviously, they're not playing for the playoffs. You see that when they lose to these teams. They're not going to maybe they'll make a late season run for the playoffs. I don't think so. But they were showing improvement, and they looked a hell of a lot better than they did last year.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
With that being said, I mean, it's going to be probably Nick Arbuckle or maybe he's probably not starting this week, but he's probably going to be the guy going to the future. He's not going to win you any games. He won't lose you games maybe, but he's not going to win you anything. You can't put the team on Arbuckle's back.
No, he's not as dynamic as,
the throwing Samoan.
He's just not. He's just not as dynamic. So It's too bad because we were both high on the Redbacks. So, hopefully.
It sucks for them, and it sucks like Edmonton lost their little like stud young guy, Trey Ford. He was looking promising. He got them their lone win. He's out with a collarbone now.
Those suck, dude.
Yeah, but
Those suck.
There's a brightness potentially for the Elks. We might see one Taylor Cornelius, XFL legend, Tampa Bay Vipers, bring them back. He was bringing them back that season in 2020. Oklahoma State legend, bringing the corn dog. You ready to get into these games? We still don't know. We still don't know who the starter is for the Elks, but I'm projecting it like he is.
Okay. I'm ready to dive right in.
Game number 1, we have the Edmonton Elks taking on the Montreal Alouettes. The Alouettes are the home team. 9-point favorites for the Owls. Plus 280 on the money line for the Elks. Over under set at 49.
See,
first thing that strikes me, the total seems really high.
Total seems high when you have a new quarterback and you've struggled. You know what I mean?
New quarterback. Not only that, but it's a new quarterback for the Elks, and the Alouettes have fired their head coach and are dealing with a new head coach and new defensive coordinator. So I don't know what's going on in Montreal.
I mean, and I always like taking a team after they make a coaching change, but this 8 just seems way too much for me. It's constantly been ticking up too.
Oh, I see 9.
Okay. All right.
I got a 9er.
All right. I'm seeing it. What do you have the total at? 49?
49.
It's hard. Can you see the Elks scoring over 20 points?
Depending on how they do it, not really. I mean, Montreal's played in a lot of high-scoring games. I think the over is hit in 3 of their 4. So maybe stay away from the total here. But I lean under just because I have no trust in the Elks with a new quarterback. And I have no trust in this Montreal team right now that seems to be in turmoil.
I mean, the fact you fire a coach that, you know what I mean?
They've been in close games. It's the crazy thing.
A couple like that missed field goal against the Argonauts in week 1 or 2.
That one hurts.
Just a couple little wanky things that
you beat the Rough Riders.
Yeah.
Like you have a win against a top team.
You know what? God damn it, Jimmy. Just talk me into that goddamn under.
I'm on the under. I'm on the Elks money line.
You think the Elks straight up go in there and win?
I do. I think Taylor Cornelius, given my energy, Elks straight up get this dub.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Interesting. You know what? I'll definitely be on the under. I don't know about the Elks, man. Jesus.
I mean, the +9 I love.
I mean, you know what? I'll lock in the +9 right now.
Montreal, in their lone win, yeah, they blew out, like, they beat Saskatchewan. But their other games, everything's been close.
Yeah.
They lose close, I bet they win close. Game number 2, Friday Night Football. The game of the weekend, in my opinion, as well. Battle of the undefeateds yet again. Calgary Stampeders heading to Winnipeg to take on the Blue Bombers. Bombers are 4-point favorites, +160 on the money line for Calgary. And the total is set at 47.5.
I'd lean under here. I kind of like the under here.
I like the under here as well. Both good defenses. Calgary's defense is really good. Winnipeg's defense. I've been flip-flopping on this so much. Winnipeg, obviously, they dad-dicked BC last week. They've shown that they can score. Calgary can score too. Both these teams have good, just all-around teams. So I have flip-flopped. Every time I talk about this game, I'm like, oh, I'm on the under. Oh, wait, no, I'm on the over. I flip-flop so much.
So my friend Brad, who taught me a lot about the game, said sometimes the best bet is no bet.
That's kind of where I'm at right now. But I also do DFS for CFL, so it's hard for me to, like, if it's an over, I want to get more Blue Bombers and Stampeders in there. Otherwise, I don't. Blah, 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 blah.
So you're just outthinking the room.
I'm probably outthinking myself. I'm overthinking things. But I do love the +4 for Calgary.
Are you that sold on Calgary?
I think Calgary, I think they showed last week they're really good. potential letdown spot for both teams, actually. I think.
This
Like,
is
Winnipeg left it all out on the field. Like, they dad-dicked British Columbia, and they were, like, celebrating. They were, like, really acting a fool out there. I like seeing it, but I think it's a potential letdown spot. And I think Calgary has gotten better each and every week.
Can we both agree that the Blue Bombers aren't going undefeated?
We can both agree on that. I don't.
So do you
It's
think
so
this
hard to go undefeated in the CFL.
So do you think this is the game they lose?
I think this is one of the games they lose. I think they lose more than one.
Okay. So, but do you think this is the first game they lose?
I do. I actually am on Calgary with the money line.
Interesting. Look at Coach.
2 dogs in a row, bro.
Good. Well, you've been hanging out with me a long time now.
No, like I was on the favorites last week.
Oh yeah, maybe that's true.
Except for Winnipeg. Winnipeg was the only dog I liked last week.
Well, I took the Elks plus the 9. I just took the under. I think that I'm just staying away.
Give me that plus 4. Give me that money line. Give it to me. You know what? I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna. You showed solidarity with me. I will show solidarity with you. I haven't bet this yet. I'm betting the under.
You know what? I'm gonna bet the under. I'm definitely gonna take the under in this.
Give me that. I'll bet that too. Game number 3. Back to 2 games on Saturday. We had the Saskatchewan Roughriders taking on the Toronto Argonauts. Roughriders 2.5-point favorites. Plus 120 on the underline for the Argos, minus 140 if you want the Roughriders. Total set at 46.
I'm on Toronto here. I love Toronto in this spot.
I'm on the Roughriders.
Your first.
I like your spot, though. I like your logic. Cody Fajardo seldom strings 3 back-to-back-to-back games in a row of, like, good play. But damn it, this Rough Riders team is red hot. They look so good. That defense is awesome. And I don't think Toronto's starting Swag Kelly. I can't condone that.
But, I mean, a lot of their stuff last game was just self-inflicted, and they're still in a position to win the game.
I can't.
2 weeks ago, they're coming off a bye.
I can't trust Toronto. I'm sorry.
Just can't do it.
No, not until they start Swag Kelly. I don't like this team. I like the Rough Riders. I think the Rough Riders win by at least a touchdown.
Okay. Agree to disagree, my friend.
I like the over in this game, though.
Okay. You know what, dude? I kind of like the over in this game, too. Yeah. Damn it, Jim. You're going to get me to bet every goddamn effing total, aren't you?
Oh, you fucking know it, brother. You fucking know it.
Just peer pressure and the shit into me to bet every goddamn.
You peer pressure me on that under. It's only right that I return that favor. Last game, Saturday night, Ottawa Red Blacks versus the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Ticats 7-point favorites. Plus 250 on the money line for the Red Blacks. Over under set at 44.5.
How can you? It's at 45. Lowest total of the week.
I'm on the under.
I mean, you kind of have to be on the under here with how
these teams stink.
Yeah, these teams are bad. Both of them kind of need a win too.
You want my take?
Yeah, give it to me.
I think the Red Blacks get a dub here. I think Hamilton's in shambles.
Really? Why do you think that?
So I think the Red Blacks, let me take a look real quick. Roster. Let me look at who their quarterback's going to be. I believe it's Tyree Adams. Yeah, it's Tyree Adams. He's going to be their backup. Hamilton, to me, has just not shown that they can win.
Okay.
They snatched defeat out of the jaws of victory time and time again. Tyree's been with the team. He's looked at Masoli. I would have loved the Red Blacks here if Masoli was still here. Revenge spot, amazing. God, it would have been.
Oh my God.
Mwah. I still like them though. I like them plus 7. I like them money line. I like them under.
What point are you seeing? How many points are you seeing for the Tiger Cats?
7.
Do you think we get a 7.5? Do you think this moves anymore?
It's hard to say. So earlier in the week, it was still 7, but it was, if you bet the Red Blacks, it was plus 100.
Yeah. See,
So there
you're-
might be a way where we get a 7.5.
I think we could get a 7.5. Call
So
me crazy.
maybe okay. My advice to the people betting this game: wait until Saturday to bet. We'll know who the starting quarterback is confirmed for Ottawa, and I bet you'll be getting a 7.5.
Okay.
I love it at 7.5. I like a money line.
7.5. I'm all in. But hypothetically, let's say you're going to a bachelor party in New Orleans this weekend. Just hypothetically, would you lock in the 7 right now, just so you don't forget?
I mean, I'd punch it in. I like the 7. I wouldn't call it a lock, but I'd punch it in for sure.
Okay. All right. I'm not saying that's what I'm doing. I'm just saying hypothetically, of course.
God, you're fucking rubbing off on me too. Because I want to do so many round robin bets with just the money line.
That's what you do, man.
That's what I just did. I just round robin, so money line for round robin bet for the money line. CFL. Elks plus 280. Stampeders plus 160. Rough Riders is minus 140, but the Red Blacks are plus 250.
And you know that's going to hit. You know why? Because Bet Online will not let you round robin those. So that guarantees you're going to be making some money, man.
You know who will though is fucking Bovada.
Bovada doesn't.
So let's
Bovada
punch this
doesn't
in.
let Uncle Rico play there anymore.
Let's see, $20. If I do all options, 2,500.
That's not bad. I'd gamble. We're here to gamble, right?
I'll sprinkle a little bit on the just on the full parlay, like a stone cold lock parlay. My favorite play for the CFL, though, my favorite play is probably the Elks plus 9.
See, my favorite play is Argonauts plus 3.
See, my other favorite play was the Rough Riders minus 3. If the Argos straight up beat the Rough Riders, I will do a shot, like a large shot of maple syrup next week.
I'd rather see you just down a Busch Light, just shotgun a Busch Light, dude.
I'll do that then. I'll shotgun one for you.
That's what I want. I want the shotgun of the Busch Light.
Any other takes for the CFL? You want to look at some futures right now?
You know, I love the future market, man. Give me a little CFL futures.
Name a team. Name a team that you like, that you want the future for, and I will tell you their odds.
What about your Rough Riders?
They're plus 500, so they're about the same as they were at the start of the season. They were around like 550, 6-1. They're about the same.
Obviously, the Tiger Cats and Red Blacks are both struggling.
Fucking plus 2,000 and plus 2,500, respectively.
Any thought on that?
Zero value. Like, maybe there's a scenario where the Tie Cats get it figured out and, like, step up.
Okay.
So maybe there's value there. Because, like, they still have the bones of a good team.
Yeah.
But I don't trust them. I would have said the Alouettes at 10-1 because they've played some really good-looking games. But now that with their coach getting fired, I hate it.
Yeah. So I mean, basically, what about what is the Stampeders at?
They're 4-1. They're plus 400. BC Lions and Stampeders are both 4-1.
Okay.
I just maybe there's a little bit of value on Calgary because I think especially if my theory comes true and they beat Winnipeg this week, that's only going to go lower.
What about
BC just doesn't have any BC. If you would have jumped on early,
yeah,
you'd be just sitting pretty because I think they were around there with the Elks, sitting at like plus 2,000 at the start of the season.
Yeah. So like honestly, right now, I look at it like it's either Calgary or Saskatchewan that you're getting value on. Anyone else, like you're basically, I mean, like you hit in the head. Argonauts quarterback issues. Montreal coaching room is a fire. Hamilcat you can't trust. Ottawa lost QB1. Elks are the Elks.
Elks are the Elks, and they're 50-1 for a reason.
Yeah, so I mean, let's just basically it's either the Stampeders or the Rough Riders, and that's all we got.
That's all we got, and that's probably all we're gonna get. That's it for the CFL talk. We got some XFL stuff to talk about, just a little bit, just a smidgen,
Just a little sprinkle.
Just a smidge. The showcases are going. Oh, excuse me. The showcases are going strong for the XFL. They're doing that. They're getting the players ready for the draft. I'm still waiting for the exact confirmation on the cities. We got that leak. We talked about it last week. We're both kind of, we're like, I'd say lukewarm to like kind of into the cities. I think we still both feel like they're missing an East Coast, really like
an East Coast
any kind of East Coast presence. But also, there's a little bit of XFL merch out there.
This is what I want to see.
You want to take a look at the merch?
You know, I'm intrigued.
Here we go. So we got the black tank right here.
Okay.
Let me see if I can zoom in.
That kind of screams The Rock to me.
Yeah. So just take a quick look at this. This definitely, like, the style of tank screams The Rock. Yeah.
Yeah.
I might get one of these. What do you think of the logo? What do you think of the new logo?
I like the old one better.
I am lockstep with you. I like the old logo so much.
What's the shipping on these, man?
Let's take a quick look. The shipping. So if I get myself an XL, add to that cart, check out. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I don't see any credit card information. Calculate it at next step. Come on. I got to put my freaking interest. Okay, so bam. Continue to shipping. If I get one tank top. Oh, God, come on.
What's the cost?
Work
Total
with me
cost, including shipping.
Work with me here. For one tank top, including shipping, $35.17.
That's
$3.99 for shipping.
That's not as much as I thought it was going to be.
$3.99 for shipping.
That's not as.
That's the flat rate, so I don't know when that would come.
Probably next year.
Actually, I mean, like, if they're the same as they were before, they were pretty quick on getting shipping. So my eye immediately went to these athletic shorts. I like the logo on these shorts. I like so when I'm wearing like athletic shorts like these, I like a little bit more subtlety.
Mm-hmm.
I like the look of these shorts.
Okay.
It's a good vibe for me. I could see me rocking this at the gym.
Okay.
I might buy me a pair of shorts.
I can see that.
I'm kind of with you though. Like, if we're just talking logo, I love the old logo so much more.
Yeah, I like the old logo a lot more too. Like a lot more.
Like this logo, like the XFL logo to me is fine. It's all right. It looks good. It looks crisp. It looks clean. But the other one looked fun.
Yeah.
This one kind of feels a little corporate.
Yeah, it kind of feels like. Yeah, I get it.
And like, it's not like the red and blue, the strong colors. It's black and white and gray. It's I could spend a whole episode talking about why this is just like modern rebranding. Getting away from your colors and flashiness and going to like off whites and grays and blacks.
That does nothing for me. I like the old stuff.
And hopefully the team gear looks sick. I'm hoping the team gear looks just fucking awesome.
I'm hoping to. I'll be pissed if it's not.
Up next, we have some ELF stuff going on. So we haven't covered the ELF, the European League of Football, very much on this show. I want to change that. I want to at least do a mid-season breakdown. I'm going to be completely honest with everyone out there. I have not watched a single game of ELF. That's a lie. I watched one game. I watched one at the early stages, but I was very drunk.
Okay.
There are 12 teams in the ELF, 3 conferences. So you want to hear how they do the playoffs?
Give it to me, big dog.
The top team from every conference.
Yeah.
And then the best second place team from all 3. So it's kind of like, imagine if the college football playoffs did like every conference.
Okay.
And then they picked like just the best at-larges. It's like that. It's the best at-large after the 3 conference champions.
Okay. I like that.
So at the midpoint, here are your standings. In the Northern Conference, the Hamburg Sea Devils at 5-1. The Berlin Thunder at 3-3. My Panthers Reclaw at 2-4.
Okay.
The Leipzig Kings at 2-4. In the Central Conference, you have the Vienna Vikings at 6-0. The Raiders Trio at 4-2. The Frankfurt Galaxy at 3-3. And the Stuttgart Surge at 0-6. And in the Southern Conference, you have the Barcelona Dragons, 5-1. The Rainfire, great name. Rainfire is such, like, your city's name is Rain. That's such a good name. 4-2. The Cologne Centurions, 2-4. And the Istanbul Rams at 0-6. So if the playoffs were to happen right now, you would have the Hamburg Sea Devils, the Vienna Vikings, and the Barcelona Dragons joined by either the Rainfire or the Raiders Trio. So if you have teams tied at the end of the season, there are tiebreakers within a conference.
Okay.
They go by number of wins, head-to-head matchup, point differential, points scored at away games, total point differential, total points scored, and then points scored at away games, and then a coin toss.
I hope it comes down to a coin toss.
I hope it comes down to a coin toss.
I do have a question for you. I saw this interesting tweet earlier in the day. This guy's suggestion is that the spring leagues, the USFL, XFL once it gets going, CFL, EFL, and the ELF, those four leagues operate like European soccer does. You can like trade across leagues. You can loan a player. Let's say, who's the quarterback for the Stallions?
Jamar Smith.
Yeah. So like the Stallions could trade Smith to the Red Blacks right now because they need somebody, and you just go in and play right away.
I like it. They all play at different times. I guess ELF plays at the same time as the CFL and the USFL because they're halfway through their season already. But I like it. The only issue, the main issue I would see is there's vast salary differences between the leagues.
Yeah, that's a good true point. That's good. Yeah, that would be a big thing. I just kind of thought it was interesting just because, like, maybe if you do get this thing acting like European soccer does with the cross-pollination of players, it could help get these spring leagues, which I find thoroughly entertaining, and I thank you because this is the most CFL I've ever watched in my life.
It's fun. It could work. I think the other issue you would run into is the main issues are A, the salary, B, they sign contracts with these leagues. Like they signed contracts with the USFL. The CFL has their contracts and everything. And the leagues, like the out of America leagues, like the CFL and the ELF, they have limits on how many American players you can have.
That's true. That'd be funny if you just see the whole Stallions team playing for the Edmonton Elks the following week.
That'd be insane. Like Bo Scarborough, if he just jumped right there, I feel like he's in the prime.
Yeah.
And they had a whole season already.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought it was a fun idea.
I think it'd be fun. Like it's fun to see players jump. Like I interviewed Tommy Auger. He played in the ELF. He just played in the Fan Control Football League. Great dude, great tight end. You do see players jump through these leagues.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'll jump from the FCF to the X League to the ELF to the USFL. Like you'll see a lot of like once you start to, especially you, Eric, now that you're getting into it, once you start to follow these leagues, there's a lot of names that'll continually jump out to you.
Yeah. Yeah. I gotcha.
You'll see the same crop of players.
Yeah.
So with what I've said, who do we have winning the ELF? Season ends in September. The playoffs start September 25th, I believe.
And who was the last team in?
Who was the last team to win, or who was the last team in?
Who was the last team in?
Well, we don't know. Like these standards could change pretty drastically in the next. They have 7 weeks to go.
Well, here's my thing. I don't think Vienna's going to win it because a team that's undefeated, I don't see that happening. I want a team that's going to peak toward the end, some team that barely gets in. I will go for the one Berlin, Berlin does sneak in,
Okay,
or
you think Berlin sneaks in there?
or the Raiders twirl. I want I want a team that has to battle and get in to make it, if that makes sense.
I
And
kind of see it.
you can say what you want
there. So
about,
there's the argument you're making. I feel like you want a team that's hot, not a team that's kind of like it's the argument that I had in the USFL for getting behind the Stars. Is that like you want a team that's hot and hungry?
but like also, okay, like looking at this right now, Berlin is 3-3, okay, but they've scored the most points, second most points, excuse me.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
They've given up 94, but like they've scored 98, the second most points. Opponent offense, that's what I'm looking for. So
I'm gonna go with probably. I think the Galaxy find a way to come back. No, you know what? No, I'm gonna go with the Hamburg Sea Devils. They lost last year. I think they want revenge. They tasted it. It was right in their grasp, and it fell. I think they come back with a vengeance.
okay, I got
That's
you.
what I think happens.
Okay, all right. I can't put any box scores on these,
dude. It's so hard. Like ELF, that need to figure something out. It's very difficult to find scores. So if you're on their website and you're looking at the schedule,
yeah,
you have to click a box that says show scores.
really.
Yeah, there's a box up there. Speaking of another league where it's extremely hard to find information, the X League, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to give a little taste. Little taste of X League. So I will just be going through all of the teams in the X1 Super, the division we will be following. The X1 area is like their lower professional division. My favorite team and our buddy Chase's favorite team are from that division. The Lixel Deers. Yes, that's Deers with an S, plural.
Okay.
They are now in the Super, so now we can definitely root for them. So here are the teams. The X1 Super. You have the Panasonic Impulse. I believe our dear friend.
That's where J-Dub plays for, and that's my team.
That is where J-Dub plays. Dang, I like that. Fujitsu Frontiers. Great team. Both great teams. Panasonic Impulse, great team. Fujitsu Frontiers, great team. Obic Seagulls up next. Our other dear friend. Retired.
Yeah.
I'm still an Obic Seagulls fan. They are still my team. IBM Big Blue. That's basically your top four. If I'm really being honest, it's a top three. It's the Impulse, Frontier, Seagulls, and then the rest, everybody. Then you kind of break it up to the division where you have the IBM Big Blue, the Nojima Sagamihara Rise, the Tokyo Gas Creators, the Elcom Kobe Phoenix, the All Mitsubishi Lions, the Asahi Beer Silver Star, the Asahi Soft Drinks Club Challengers, the Equal One Fukuoka Suns, and the Lixel Deers Football Club.
I mean, those are some phenomenal names.
I love the names. This is, aside from the whole football aspect, the team names and mascots are probably my favorite thing about Japanese football.
Oh, and it's not even close.
If you get in, also, like, if you just dive a little bit into the X1 area, we have the Kesicho Eagles, the Penta Ocean Pirates, the As-One Black Eagles, the Dentsu Caterpillars, the Nagoya Cyclones, the Fuji Film Minerva AFC, the Shitagawa CC Bullseyes, and the Mitsubishi Corporation Club Tree X.
That's a lot of stuff, dude. I love those.
There are a lot of teams. I'm trying to remember the Shinagawa CC Bullseyes. I think those are police. I think. Okay. Interesting, though. Lots of teams, lots to keep track of. The X League begins in September. Be prepared, everybody. Right now, the CFL reigns supreme. There's just a lot going on. I will use this time. I will beg. I am begging a bookmaker out there. Put some ELF lines out there. Put them out there.
I mean, is this tweet worthy? Are we gonna have to tweet old Mr. Dave Mason?
If BetOnline tweets him, I'll suck Dave Mason's dick.
Whoa.
Yeah. I stand by this, damn it. I think that's a good place to end the show, actually. Eric, where can the people find you?
Well, they can find you and I. Tuesday's a big night for me. I've found out Tuesday's a big night for me.
Tuesdays are a big night for you.
You know, I kick off. I'm on this live stream with my girls, Elena, Misty, and Brittany, talking a little sports, Sports Talk South. Then you and I do a college football preview on Tuesday. Breaking down the independents. You know, I'm really big on
we got the independents coming up. The AAC just dropped. The audio version's out there. Apple Podcast, Spotify.
And I mean, dude, 40-1 futures, 150-1 futures, juicy. My live stream is Tuesday night. You and I have Spring Fever on Thursday night, and then Friday, my podcast drops, and there's every week there's a special guest. Uncle Jim comes on and just gives some now. So that's where you can find me at eTalk21 Sports across the board.
And if the Rough Riders lose outright, I will chug a Busch Light on his show as well.
Shotgun.
Sorry, I will shotgun a Busch Light on his show, his podcast. You guys know where to find me. I'm at XFL Jim on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, everywhere. I've got a lot cooking up in the garage right now. There's a lot cooking. I can
smell you like The Rock, dude. I can smell what you're cooking.
There's a lot cooking right now. Give us a like, give us a follow wherever you find podcasts. Love you guys. Mwah, mwah.